Hello everybody and welcome to a very dark and rainy night in Solihull, and welcome to a very rare car one. I haven't done one for a long time, mainly because I've been doing it in the house and things, but opportunity now, and I have a lot of questions floating around in my head that I kind of need to get out, and I'm asking you, my wonderful viewers, what you think. And I genuinely want to hear in the comment section what you honestly think. I want everybody's opinion. It doesn't matter, no one's right, no one's wrong, okay? This is just I have questions to ask and I want to know how other people are feeling. And it may be a triggering conversation because, of course, it'll cover subjects that people will find potentially combative and difficult, because obviously subjects do that. What I'm asking are several questions, but the primary question is, do you think that Britain has fallen? Or do you think Britain's on the verge of collapsing? Now I ask these questions because as an ex-serving soldier who loves his country dearly, I'm not looking around and enjoying what I'm seeing, and I know a lot of people feel the same way. Crime is through the roof, trust of the police is at an all-time low, we're all struggling financially, except of course those who are elite. As a guy drives through the red lights, oh, there's a car parked in the middle of the road here, what the fuck is going on? I do believe there has been an accident. Right, we'll cut this. There has been an accident here on the road. Cars have had a collision. There are damaged vehicles. I haven't got any change, I'm afraid, mate, on me at all. I'm ever so sorry. I know, but I'm sorry, I really haven't got anything. I'm sorry. Really am sorry, dude. I'm genuinely sorry. I'm genuinely sorry I ain't got none, mate, because I'd give it you if I did. We have an RTA. We have a three-way RTA. Okay, so we have an RTA there. We'll just carry on. Sorry, an RTC. No such thing as accidents. Right then, so let's go for again in 3. Sorry about that. So sad. There's another example. We're not going to stop the video. I'm going to keep that in. There's a guy there in the rain begging, crying because he got no money, man. Nowhere to live, sitting at a junction of a busy road begging for money. And if I did, and I meant that, if I had got change, I'd give it to him. This is what I mean. And all you see is injustice everywhere. I'm not proud of my country anymore. Don't get me wrong. If my country asked me to defend its flag, I would. Because that's my patriotic duty. But you see stuff like, there's a guy there, I mean, we've had a car crash, and I've got a guy in bits sitting on the side of the road with nothing. And then I go home and sit down on the telly and see immigrants in 5-star hotels, 3 square meals a day and everything else, and I wonder why he's not being looked after. We got a police service whose sole purpose and intention seems to serve one master, and it's not us. And these are the questions I need answers. Why are we sitting idly by and allowing this? Why are we allowing the blatant takeover of our country and its ideologies and its belief systems and everything that makes this country, or used to make this country, earn and deserve the title Great Britain. When Christians, now you know me, you should know me by now, I am not a very religious person. I genuinely am not. But when I see Christians and I see gospel singers being told to shut up singing and doing silent prayers, because it happens to be outside an abortion centre which they don't agree with, being arrested and harangued by our police department, when thousands of people who do not believe in our lifestyle, our philosophy and our belief are allowed to do whatever they want to do. When people turn up over here in dinghies, fleeing whatever, and get a hotel, and I'm sitting there listening to it, and you heard it on the camera there and then. You heard it on the camera there and then. The guy's crying. Big flood here. The guy is crying because he's got nothing in the pouring rain. And I see that, and then I see people who just rolled up here, no idea who they are, what their background is. And if they genuinely, I mean, I don't give a fuck about their, I'm sorry, but I'm going to swear because it's annoying me. That's really upset me. And I sit there on the news and watch people get there, and I'm now just sat in this car with you on the camera. There? And he's crying. The poor bloke is in absolute fucking bits. And he gets nothing. We have judges who've let people off carrying symbols of terror on their backs because he believes in their cause. We have a huge problem with the enemy within our ranks, and no one says anything. This video will probably get banned, reported, whatever, off YouTube, because you can't say anything. We got so many fucking messages being said about this, that, and the freaking other. We like that Brianna Gray's mother. Terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing that happened. No murder, and I don't care what they identify as. Couldn't give a shit. But her mother turning this into a political weapon because the judge said there was some elements, not proven, may I say, that was the judge's personal opinion, and her mother's opinion going, it's trans hate, when it really wasn't. It was two fucked up kids. But we're turning it, it's, oh well, it's not about her murder, it's about sending a message. And no, it's not. It's about you politicising your daughter's murder. Would she be doing and saying the same things if her daughter wasn't trans? No, of course she wasn't. It's because it's been hijacked. Keir Starmer, when he had a go at Rishi Sunak, don't get me wrong, Rishi Sunak in my eyes is a dictator. None of us voted for him at all. Not even the membership of the own party voted for him. He was installed along with David on with dickhead Cameron, who says, well, perhaps we should look after kids from Gaza in our hospitals. No, we shouldn't. Why shouldn't we? Because why should us taxpayers, British taxpayers, pay for them to be looked after when we can't even get in to see our fucking doctors? And why is it always our country's responsibility to do this? When we have a man sitting on the side of the street crying because he's got nothing, and we're not looking after him, but we'll gladly look after somebody else. It's wrong. But of course, I'll be far right. I'll be a racist, I'll be a xenophobe, I'll be everything, I'll be transphobic, I'll be everything now because of what I'm saying. But you can't tell me genuinely that this is right. That we live in a country where everyone who doesn't live here, never given anything to society in this country, can just rock up here and get everything for free. And I have a man sitting crying breaking my heart because I can't give him anything because I haven't got anything. Because we live in a cashless society now, pretty much. I have no cash. If I had it, I'd have given him. If I'd had some water in here, I'd have given him anything I could. If I got an old duvet in the boot, I'd have got the duvet out and give it him. And he's sitting there crying because he's got nothing. The man is desperate. And he gets nothing. Why? Because he was born here. And you can tell that from his Brummie accent. Country's broken. The system is broken. And I'm sure I will in the comments some people going, no, defending. You can't, how can you? Oh, so well, you should do it because we support the war in Gaza and we should say, no! For one, the war in Gaza's got absolutely sweet fuck all to do with us. We're just making money out of it, just like everybody else is. Because that's all that happens in war. Yeah, it makes people fucking rich. People die. Innocents die. Oh, well, they brought it upon themselves. I mean, oh, yeah, but they did. Not the people who live there. Obviously not. But whenever you start a war, they'll hide. They'll use these people as fucking human shields. Oh, that's fine. But of course, it's our responsibility for some fucked up reason to look after them. How does that work? Genuinely, how does that work? I just don't get it. I just genuinely don't get it. I don't understand how everything suddenly becomes Britain's responsibility. We're fucked. So there you go. I mean, it's a valid question. It's a question that I know I'm going to get some controversial answers, but the simple truth of the matter is, I'm so worried about this country. I mean, we've dropped back into recession. And that's because we're being ripped off by our government that doesn't care. I mean, just take, for instance, British Gas have earned a £750 million profit. All the other energy companies making money profit, the BBC go, oh yeah, but some people make a loss. Now, they've all made profit. Why? Because, like, the wholesale gas price is now back to where it was in 2018. We were paying 10 times that amount now. They haven't dropped it back down, have they? No. Why? Because the sole intent and purpose of our government is to just price us out of existence. We sit here and we're all struggling. Everybody's struggling. Except obviously the elite and the rich. But the 99% of us are struggling. Why? Because we've got no money. We can't afford it. We've got huge waiting lists. Oh, well, you know, it's this and the other. But we've got to be sending billions to the Ukraine. For what? We get anything? No, we don't get anything. And why is that? And this is the inequality, this is the injustice that I can see. And I know there are loads of you out there can also see it. We live in a completely fucked up universe. We do. Where nothing makes sense. Got no money, we're all struggling. We can't get in to see our doctors, but we'll just bring in a load of foreign people from another conflict zone that's got nothing to do with us and treat them because, well, it's the right thing to do. And who's paying for it? And you can't see why that's a problem. You can't see why people are annoyed. But of course, when we're annoyed and we complain, we're far right. Everything. I mean, our armed forces are completely screwed. Why? Because they've been allowed to do it. Because they've been taken over by idiots who've worked from within to completely destroy our military. We've been made weak on purpose. Our police are being made to be hated because of the way they're told to treat things. Hate crime, bullshit. Our army, no good. Our Air Force, no good. Our Navy can't even send ships to fucking sea. Can't you see what is happening? Or you've got to have electric cars. You know, apparently the EU are talking about soon banning car repairs on any petrol or diesel vehicles. Unless they're trucks. Our lives are being destroyed by governments who do not care about us. They do not serve us. And don't say, oh, well, vote the Conservatives. Okay, we'll vote them out. And we'll get Labour in, who are solely purposing to do anything to get the Muslim vote. And they'll quite happily turn us into a caliphate. They're full of anti-Semitic behaviour, which they swear not. Look how many MPs have come out and supported Palestine and Hamas, serving Labour MPs. One of them, remember, telling people to shut up for diversity's sake. Voting Labour is voting for more immigration. It's voting for a caliphate state of the Muslim, because they'll do anything to get that vote, because that's why they've imported them. We're in shit street, people. Genuinely in shit street. And why are all of you silent majority not saying anything? So come on then, you silent majority. Why are you not saying anything? I know you're going to sit there looking at your TVs, and I know you feel this way, but you're not saying anything. This country's in trouble. The world in general is in trouble, but this country's in trouble. The Western world is in trouble. And yet, millions of you sit there and say nothing. If you can't see how weakened we are, if you can't see how our government does not work for us, it never did, but now it's genuine, it's not even fucking hiding it anymore. The NHS lists are running, they want you to die. They're not interested in serving you. You're alright if you could pay. But if you can't pay, you won't even be able to get sick. I mean, you can barely see your doctor now. There's what, 6 years waiting list, 10 years waiting list for some things. And what you sit there thinking, oh, well, it's because they're under strain, that's their own fault. We then hear that, oh, well, we might as well bring, we should really look after those people in Gaza. No! Sort out our own problems. Seriously, please, we've got to sort our own shit out. I shouldn't have to pull up and listen to a guy breaking his heart and breaking my heart, crying on the side of the road because he's got nothing. Yet you roll in here on a dinghy and you get everything. You tell me how that's fair. There's hundreds and hundreds of veterans, homeless, people who served this country, stood on the wall to protect it, and then they're left to rot because no one cares, because you're not an immigrant. We've had an old couple who just had a letter that compulsory purchase their house so they can house immigrants. There's another thing saying we need to accelerate empty housing buying because we've got 16,000 immigrants that need housing. How about those people homeless here who live here? How about the homeless veterans? How about all the people who've had Section 21 notices served and been kicked out of their houses for no fault of their own? Why aren't you housing them? Because a fucking immigrant's more important. And you'll probably say, oh, well, it's actually not like that. But that's how it's portrayed. You've got a generation of young kids who won't do any work. We've got no skills gap. We can't get builders. Why? Because no one's doing any apprenticeship. Why? Because you tell kids their feelings are more important and they should get paid shitloads of money for nothing. The whole Western world, but this country in particular, is in a massive spiral and no one is doing anything about it. Forget Reclaim. Forget the Reform Party. Forget all these other parties. Because if they were really truly for us, and they really truly had those beliefs, and they were genuine in those beliefs, they would not be allowed to exist by the establishment. Lawrence Fox and people like that who speak the truth, Tommy Robinson, these people who speak the truth are ostracised. They're cancelled, they're destroyed, they're removed. They're not given a voice. So if you see a party going, oh, we're going to do this, they're not. Because they won't allow a party to speak the truth for the general public because they don't want that. What you're seeing here is controlled opposition. That's all it is. There is no one who speaks for us. They're all in it for themselves. And they will all do as the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum, two organisations that have massive power that no fucker votes for, they just put themselves in charge, tell people to do. Why is Rishi Sunak in his job? Yeah? He's a multi-million fucking heir. He don't need that job. He was put there. He was put there to do a job. The only person in the world who so far who does anything is Putin. Russia's in a better state because they don't take no fucking shit. Okay, they do some fucking stupid things, but his country is still better in position than us. And then we had Donald Trump in America, who did make America great again, and now they're stitching him up. They stitched him up in the election, and now they're trying to stop him getting revotes because they know the American people want him. Why? Because like everybody else, they're sick to death of this bullshit. That's the end of this rant. That's the end of this video. It won't be the last on this subject, I can guarantee you, because my blood is boiling. I'm hating what I'm seeing my country become. I genuinely am. So I've asked you the questions. Comment section down below. I'm expecting the crap as well, and I don't care. Because the question needs to be asked. Is this country doomed? Has this country fallen? Is it right for me to park up at a set of lights, see an accident, and look over, wind down my window, and listen to a grown man crying at the side of the street because he hasn't got a fucking penny to his name? With that, bring it to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Whenever you watch this, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, I am going to love you and leave you.